How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to an episode here on Let's Build Twitter. As always, I'm Ethan, or Unknown Coder, your favorite underqualified senior software engineer. And as always, if you guys do want access to the private repository for this project, there is a link in the description down below that will walk you through exactly how to gain access to that. Now, that being said, let's go and hop into what we're working on today. Today, we're going to go through and kind of fix up some of the bugs and little issues that I found while we were testing out in the last 3 episodes, getting the list stuff done. Primarily, we're just going to go ahead and fix all that up, and then we'll see what we have time for after that. With that being said, let's go and get to work today. The first thing that we're going to go ahead and fix up is whenever we search right here, it's pretty okay. You can see that we have the close icon, but if we go ahead and open up this guy and then go ahead and let's just make a test list really quick, go next, and then whenever you search for people here, it's actually working. Let me double check that the code still isn't pushed up here because this should be broken from last episode. So let me double check the code really quick to make sure that this still isn't running the correct code. Let's see here. So this is going to be inside of our list search bar. So let's go into our features, our list components, and then this one is list search bar. And let me see here, we are passing in width. I don't think that changed, but let's see. So I don't know why all of a sudden it's working. I'm still gonna make the change. It's kind of acting like it's cached maybe. Let me double check something. No, we can't empty cache and hard reload. Interesting. Let's try again. Test list. Oh, okay. Yes, it was cached because now I see the other issue. Let's see. There we go. Okay, we had a caching issue. So we're gonna try to fix that. We're also gonna go ahead and fix this little issue, and we're going to fix a bunch of other things. So let's go ahead and hop into the code, get to work, and fix this stuff up. So like I mentioned, we're going to fix a few things. Before we actually get into this one, there's one more thing I wanted to fix inside the list top bar. As you saw, the kind of border on the side kind of came back a little bit wonky. I don't know what changed or what fixed that, but we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. At one point, it wasn't showing up properly. So that's fixed. And then let's go ahead and hop into our list search bar and fix this issue. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to calculate how wide we want that to be. That way it actually spans the whole area that we want. We're going to go ahead and say const, and this is going to go ahead and be calculate. Whoops. Calculate. There we go. Width is equal to, and we're going to go ahead and pass this along. And here we're going to say const width num is equal to plus width, which we're passing in, dot split. And we're going to split it at the px, and make sure this is a string. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and get 0 to get the number from that. And we're going to go ahead and return the width minus 64, and that seems to be a good kind of width for us here. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is inside of our style, and let's see what's mad at us here. Calculate width, return. This should be width num minus 64. There we go. And then here plus width, let me guess it's optional or something. No, we are breaking it apart. I don't know why this one is mad at us. Plus width dot split. Oh, it's because I accidentally put square brackets there. It's pretty early in the morning, so forgive me. There we go. So now inside of our style, we're going to go and have a width of backticks and then $sign curly brace. We're going to go ahead and, whoops, maybe calculate width. And then this is going to go ahead and call that function. And then outside we're going to have px. Let's go ahead and save that. Looks good. And now there's going to be a bunch of places, well, not a bunch, a couple places where this is broken. So let's go ahead and fix that. Let's go into the create list user selector and fix it there. So here it's technically not broken because we're still passing in the width, but we want to go ahead and change what we're passing because right now I think we're passing 100%. Let's go ahead and try to find this search here. So create list, not user card, create list user card. Where is our search? There's our search bar. So right now we're passing in width 100%. Let's actually change this from 100%. We're actually going to go ahead and put 566 px instead, and that's about the width of our modal there, and that should be good to go. So now let's go and hop into the code, give it a good refresh, try to make sure the cache is reloaded, and see what this looks like now to make sure it looks better. This changed a little bit, but I think that still looks fine. If we go into a create list, and we might need to update the size on that as well. I'm not sure. We'll circle back if we need to. So test private list, I guess. Go ahead and hit next. That's all that matters. So yeah, it seems like the width on this, and I might have put this in the wrong position. Let me double check something because this made this a little bit smaller. So let me double check where this is supposed to go. I might put that in the wrong spot. Let's go back into our list search bar. So I think this is supposed to go, let's see here. It says line 47. So I think it's supposed to go in this search. Let me go ahead and undo this. So this is still supposed to be width. Whoops. undid too much. So I put this in the wrong spot. My bad, guys. So here, this is supposed to stay here, but this width right here is supposed to be what changes, I think. No, that's not it either. And then we're going to come down here to the input. That's why it said it's on 57. I was confused why it was on 57 on the div, but here we're going to go ahead and have a style equal to, and then width is going to be backticks, and then $sign curly brace. And then we'll go ahead and call that calculate width there, and then go ahead and put px. So that should go ahead and do it now. For real this time, fingers crossed. Let's take a look. There we go. Looks much better. And that's what we're looking for. Perfect. So that's the first issue fixed. So next issue we're going to go ahead and fix is an issue with whenever we go ahead and like scroll and we happen to click on this, you can see there's a little bit of an issue here with this modal, and sometimes it's not going to open what we want to open. So what we want to go ahead and do is we want to fix it up so that whenever we open up a modal, no matter where we're at on the screen, it's going to go ahead and open up what we want it to. So to do that, let's go ahead and hop back into our code. Let's go ahead and first we're going to go into the bottomless modal, and inside the bottomless modal, we're going to go ahead and calculate the positioning that we want on this guy. So let's go ahead and go into our function here, and inside the function, it's going to say const and calculate, and this is going to be top position is equal to an arrow function, and we're going to go ahead and say const position is equal to, and this is going to be window dot and then scroll y. Then we're going to go ahead and return an object, and here we're going to go ahead and say overflow is hidden. We're going to make it so we can't scroll anymore, if I could spell hidden properly. And we're going to say top is backticks $sign curly brace position px, because we're going to run into an issue a little bit later on where we have this big long scroll list of different things, and whenever you click on it, if you're at the bottom of the list, you won't be able to actually see the modal because it opens up at the very top of the page no matter what we do. So we want to go ahead and fix that. Then we also want to say use effect. Let's go and bring in use effect and import this. So here, let's go ahead and set this up. It's only going to run once, and whenever this component loads, we're going to say document dot and then body dot style dot overflow. And then this is going to equal to hidden as well. So we're going to literally get rid of all the scrolling on the entire body. And then whenever we close out as well, we're going to go and return. And this is going to go ahead and just say document dot body dot style dot overflow, and we're going to go ahead and reset this. So whenever our application loads up, we're going to basically just figure out where the modal should actually be to be in the center, and then we're also going to go ahead and just disable all the scrolling on the document. That way we can't scroll anymore and there's no weirdness going on. So now we're going to go ahead and throw a style on this bottomless modal bg. Style is going to equal to, and then calculate top position. Probably could have named this a little bit better, but it is what is. And now to go ahead and get rid of that. So now if we actually go back into our application, we should be able to see some of the effects of this, like not being able to scroll. So let's hop into the web browser and see what that looks like. Let's go and give this a refresh here. If we go into here, now you see we can't scroll anywhere. And this fixes a bug that I've basically been annoyed with for a long time, but we were forced to do it because whenever we go to like discover a new list, there's an option at the bottom of the page that says to create a new list, and it kind of scrolls weirdly around and stuff. So happy that this is fixed, but now let's go ahead and fix it for the modal as well. So back in our code, let's go into the modal component. And once again, let's come in here. We're going to do something very similar. We're going to go ahead and say const and then calculate, calculate, and then position. Actually, I just call this position const position. I don't know why I said one thing and another one on the other. I actually think I just forgot to copy the top part. So we are going to go and say const calculate, and then this one we call top position again, top position, like so. And here, once again, we're going to go and say const position is equal to, and then window dot scroll y. And then we're going to go ahead and return an object again with overflow. And this is going to be hidden again. And then we're also going to go ahead and have top is backticks $sign curly brace, and this is going to be position px. There we go. And then we need to go ahead and once again set up a use effect. So use effect, and inside the use effect, let's go ahead and just set up an empty array here. And then we're going to go ahead and just say document dot body dot style, and then this one's going to be overflow. Once again, it's going to be equal to hidden. And then we're also going to go ahead and, not do that. Also going to go ahead and return a function, and inside the return, we'll say document.body, and then .style.overflow is equal to nothing. We'll just reset it. And then we need to come into where we have our modal here, and we're going to go ahead and add a style equal to, and then this is going to be calculate. Whoops, if I could type. Calculate top position and call that function. So once again, same thing for the modal. We're going to go and fix it up so that it looks more like a modal. We can't scroll and there's no funky stuff going on, and I like it a lot better. I don't know where any examples of a modal are that don't have or that aren't bottomless, so we're just going to leave it at that. We know it works with the bottomless, so that's good to go. So that looks good. So now we're going to go ahead and make some more updates. That way we can go ahead and let's hop in here really quick to show you guys what we need to do. Inside of here, let's go ahead and make a quick test list. So test list, and we'll say this is a test list. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and add Rick, Morty, and Summer. Fingers crossed we haven't broken anything. Cool. So now whenever we hover over this, we have this members and followers. We never got around to actually implementing that. So let's also go ahead and quickly implement these two features real quick. It's going to be one modal that we share between those two. So that's why we have plenty of time to work on that. So we need to go ahead and make a few changes before we deal with that. And then we can go ahead and get this guy opening. So let's hop back into the code. And the first thing we need to go ahead and do is, since this is going to be a modal, we need to go ahead and hop into our modal slice, and let's go ahead and add the new properties to display those. So inside our modal slice, let's come below our display create list, and we're going to go ahead and display, and this one is going to go ahead and be list members, which is a boolean. We're also going to go ahead and display list, and this one's followers, which is a boolean, like so. Let's go ahead and set up the initial state. So here we'll go ahead and display, and this one's going to be list members, which is false, and display list followers, which is false. Looks good. Then let's come in here. Hindsight, we literally should just an update display modal state or something, and then just passed in the property and the value. But hey, it is what it is. You live and you learn. We started this project like years ago. So update and display. Whoops. Update display, and we want first list members. Let's just go ahead and take in state, and we'll return. I'm just gonna do it this way: state, comma, and then display, and this one is list members is going to be, whoops, not that. Let me fix this. It's going to be not state.display list members. Okay, let's also go ahead and just say update display list followers. Let me state, and then here we're going to go ahead and return our state, if I could type. So state, whoops, and then this one will be display list followers is equal to not state.display list followers. If I could type. There we go. That's good. Let's go ahead and return our reducers here so we can actually gain access to them. So display list members, and then we'll also go ahead and have our update display list followers. So that does it for this guy. Next up, we need to go ahead and add a couple properties to our list slice. Let's go ahead and hop in there. Inside our list slice, we need access to the card that we are selecting, or the list that we're selecting whenever hovering over the card, as well as the list users that we want to go ahead and display. Let's go ahead and come below here, and we're going to go ahead and say list users to display. It's going to go ahead and be a user array. Like so. We need to import user in a second. And then we're also going to go ahead and have our selected list is going to go ahead and be a custom feed. Custom feed. There we go. Or undefined. And let's go ahead and import user if we need to. It looks like we already have user. Perfect. And then we're going to need to go ahead and come into our update payload. We need to go ahead and add in that user. Let's add in user, and we also need to go ahead and add in our custom feed, like so. And then let's make sure we also do this. So that should be up to date and good to go. And this should actually be a user array. And let's make sure the list to display or list user display is also an array, so that's good to go. So that's good. And then finally, inside of our initial state, we're going to go ahead and set this up. So here we're just going to go ahead and have our list users to display will just be an empty array for the time being. And then our selected list will obviously just be undefined because we haven't selected one yet. And then that's all we need to do, because we're just going to go ahead and update the state with our update list state reducer. So that's good to go. So now we just need to go ahead and set up the modal and start filling some stuff out. So let's go ahead and open up our Explorer here. Let's go ahead and close out of a couple things. And inside of our components, let's go ahead and create a list members or followers modal / list members or and then followers modal.tsx. Let's go and open this up. We don't need a CSS for this or anything. Here we're just going to go ahead and say interface, and I might actually import React just for the fun of it. React from React, it's kind of our gag. And then here we're going to have an interface, and this interface is going to be list members or followers, and then this one's going to be modal props. And here we're going to go and have a top caption, and this will be a string. We're going to go and have is members, which is a string, and then is creator, which is a string. Okay, let's just give ourselves a little bit of space here so that the imports aren't crowding on our interface there. Export const list members or and followers modal. This is a react.fc, and we'll go ahead and pass in our list members or modals props. And then we're going to go ahead and say equal to an arrow function. We're going to go ahead and have our top caption. We'll go ahead and have our is members. We'll have our is creator. Go ahead and open this up. And here, this is going to be pretty simple. We're just going to go ahead and return in a bottomless modal. Inside the bottomless modal, we're going to go and have our top bar equal to, and let's just set up a fragment modal top bar. Go ahead and close out of that. And then we'll also have our content equal to, and this will be our modal content. And now we need to go through and just set these up. I don't think that they're too crazy. I think in theory we should be able to get these done today, but we're just going to make a few changes and updates to some components before we actually do that. So first up, we need to go ahead and make a change to the list card to be able to actually update the selected list whenever we hover over it. So let's hop into the list card. So now whenever we go into our not handle follower clicked, not this, there should be a handle hover name and then handle unhover. So here in the handle unhover, whenever we set hovering name to false, we're going to go ahead and come here and we're going to go ahead and dispatch. And here we're going to go ahead and dispatch and update. And I think that this is in the wrong spot. Let me double check this is in the right place, because here I have true versus false. It's supposed to be up here. Good thing I double checked. So under our hovering name true, we're going to dispatch. Maybe dispatch. I don't know if I have dispatch created or not. Hopefully I do. And we're going to go ahead and dispatch update list state. And then inside update list state, let's go ahead and bring in the property, which is going to go ahead and be selected list. And then we're also going to go ahead and have our value, which will be list, like so. And let's see what's going on with this. There it goes, just being a little bit angry. So let's hop into the front end and just make sure that we can hover over this, and we'll see it in Redux. Let's give this a refresh. I'm going to go ahead and open up Redux in a window here. So if I scroll down here, make this bigger, and I go ahead and hover over this name, and then unhover, it should stay selected. Now we have an update list state in our list, and then our selected list is now set up. That's going to be important later on. So that's good to go. Now we also need to be able to update our list hover card to be able to actually click on one of these. So let's go and hop into that list hover card to open this guy up. So inside of our list hover card, we need to obviously come over here to our handle members clicked and our handle followers clicked. And this should be pretty simple. So let's go ahead and get rid of this console.log. And instead, let's go ahead and dispatch. And first, we're going to go ahead and dispatch an update list state here. And then inside the update list state, we're going to go ahead and call the property. Property is going to go ahead and be our list users, maybe, to display. And we're going to go ahead and say the value is going to be list.followers. And then we're also going to go ahead and dispatch another one. And this one's going to be update display. And this one's list followers. So whenever we click on that, obviously we're going to open up the followers, and this should be members. My bad. So this one should be dot members, and then this should be list members here. Let's go ahead and fix that, list and members. We're going to basically do the same exact thing below. Let's go and import this. Now we're going to take this code. I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to go ahead and paste it down here and make a couple small changes. Let's paste it in. So here, instead of members is going to go ahead and be followers because we want to open up the followers list. And let me make sure we spell followers properly. And then here, once again, update list followers like so. Save that up. There we go. So now when we click on it, it should go ahead and open that. Now we need to go ahead and go into the modal component or the modal container and deal with that. And then also down here where we are actually displaying our links, we need to actually convert this to have like a K if there's like 1,000 plus. So we're going to go ahead and actually call a convert and count function. This is going to be inside like the post utils or something. We should probably move this into its own utility file, but let's go and import this from post utils. Same thing here. That way we can convert this and it looks a little bit nicer and it's not just like really long. So there we go. Looks good. That's another little bug that I found whenever I was testing things, and that's fine. And finally, there is one more bug in here. So here, this one says unfollow or follow. This one should say following because we're already following it. So that looks good as well. That is everything we need to do inside of here for now. I found a couple of bugs when I was testing and trying to work on these episodes. So that looks good. So now we need to actually go ahead and update our modal container to be able to actually view these whenever we click on that button. So let's go ahead and open up our modal container. Inside of our modal container, we're going to go ahead and add in a couple things. So let's come below our display create list here, and we need a const display, and this one's going to be list members. Whoops. If I could type members is equal to use selector, and then here we're going to have our state and our root state, and we're going to go ahead and have our state dot, and this is modal dot display list members to start out, and we'll also have our const display, and then list followers is equal to use selector, and then here we're gonna have state and root state, and then this one's going to be state dot list, whoops, dot, and then this one's going, or not list, my bad, modal dot display list followers. There we go, looks good. And then we need to go ahead and actually do a little bit of logic in here, unfortunately, to kind of figure out whether or not the user that's logged in is proper. And I think we also might have forgot to bring in a couple pieces of state. So I think we also need to come below here and say const, and we need the, let's see here, we need logged in, which is going to equal to use selector, and this is going to be, whoops, if I could do this properly, state and root state, and this is going to be state dot logged in or state dot user, like so. And we also need the selected list, so const, and we're going to go ahead and say selected list, whoops, is equal to use selector, and then state root state, and this one's going to be state dot list, and then we'll just keep it at that. I forgot to bring these in inside of our code, but it is what it is. Now we're going to go ahead and come below our const add get to message. We're going to say const and determine, and this one's going to be list creator. So we need to go ahead and see if the person that is opening up this modal is the creator of the list. So if that's the case, we're going to return logged in, and so the user is logged in and we have a selected list. And if logged in dot user ID is equal to the selected list dot creator dot user ID, and then or false. So basically we're going to go ahead and check to see if we have a logged in and we have a selected list first. If that happens, if that's not the case, obviously it's just going to be false. Then we'll go ahead and check to see if these are the same, and then if something's undefined, we'll go ahead and return false. This is Mattis. This worked, so I'm not concerned about it. It's probably saying that like there's some weird something we can do to make it better, but I don't really care. Looks fine. So now we're going to come down here to below our create list. We're going to go ahead and have a display and list members, and then we're going to come in here. This is going to be a little bit messy. So here we're going to have our list members or followers modal. Go and import that. Top caption. So our top caption for our list members will be list members. We're going to go ahead and have a is members equal to true, obviously, because it's the list members modal. And then is creator is going to go ahead and equal to determine, determine. And then this is list creator. So we'll go ahead and do that and close out that. And then here we're also going to go ahead and display and list followers. This one's going to be similar. Let's also make sure we spell followers properly here. So followers, followers like so. And let's make sure we spell it right here, followers, and open this guy up. So here we're gonna have our list members or followers modal again, and top caption is going to equal to, and this one will be list followers like so. And then here is members will equal to false, obviously. And then is creator is also going to equal to false because it doesn't matter for the followers. The reasoning behind needing this is because when you open up the members list, you could basically remove members. And let's see, maybe we didn't save this. I don't know what the problem is here, so this should be fine. Boolean is not assignable to type something, so we messed something up here. Let's double check this. So I accidentally put string for all these. Let's go ahead and make sure these are booleans. I'm pretty sure I said they're boolean and then went ahead and typed string on accident. So let's go ahead and fix that up. Save that. Looks good. Let's double check again. There we go. No errors. Everything's rendering. So now in theory, if we do open up the website here and give this a nice refresh, we should be able to hover over this, open this up, and you can see we have our modal top bar and modal content, and we don't have any way to close out of this right now, so let's just refresh that. We can go and do the same thing here. We're not displaying anything. It is what it is, and that's actually going to be where we go ahead and wrap up this episode, because the top bar and the content is going to take a little bit of time, and I'm already pushing 30 minutes of record time here. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. We did some bug fixing today, and we fixed some things that were kind of annoying, that were kind of around for a really long time, so that feels good. We also got our slice and everything set up for being able to actually display this, so that is also good to go. The next episode will hit the ground running, getting this all filled out. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Everything helps out here with the YouTube algorithm. And if you do want to see where we start from absolute scratch to get the point on now, there's going to be a playlist popping up, coming right up. So with that being said, y'all, hope you have a great day. This has been Ethan on Uncoder, and I'll see you all in the next video.